play Bedwars and win, but you aren't the aggressive type. Can you win without completely changing your playstyle? Of course you can, as anybody who looked at the video length probably already figured out. Here is how. For the majority of this video, we're going to run through what a game played with a hard defensive strategy might look like. At the start here, it's not that interesting. I immediately go for wool so I can get to the middle island quickly. Pretty much all maps require 48 wool here, although 1 or 2 will only need 32. On some maps, such as this one, there is a hub island that it makes sense to go to before middle, as it cuts the amount of wool required from 64 to 48. However, this can open you up to an early bed destruction, so you may have to take a fight. After coming back from middle, Pink is almost at the hub island. This is obviously an imminent threat, therefore I need to take him out. He hasn't defended his bed effectively, so this is going to be easy. Had he defended his bed with anything more than wool, I would have needed to take a more defensive stance and gotten TNT before I attacked him, making sure to prevent him from destroying my bed in the process. However, instead I can just remove him before he becomes a problem. Now that I've spent some time taking care of that problem, the emeralds have respawned at mid. You need 8 emeralds or 2 spawns in solo and doubles, so I go back and collect them before any opposition reaches mid to take them from me. With the magic emeralds in tow, I immediately run back to my base and buy obsidian to put around my bed. I also want to get a covering around the obsidian as soon as possible to increase the chances that people will underestimate my defenses and attack me. Wanting attacks seems counter to the goal, but each attack is going to give you some resources and can give you a lot against careless enemies. Now I can sit back and relax. Gathering diamonds is going to be important now, so I bridge to the nearest diamond immediately and collect them. The biggest upgrades to your strength are going to be diamond based, whether they be protection upgrades or the trap to notify you if somebody sneaks onto your island. The only deviation from this playstyle, and why the trap is important, is going to be a return to mid at some point, for the upgrade to diamond armor. Well, here comes the ominous camera pan. Aqua destroyed my bed here. I'll admit, this was very poor play on my part. I assumed that the obsidian would scare Aqua off and he would go for Gray, the other remaining person. That was wrong. I should have been more careful, but this isn't the end. I simply need to shift away from my base and hide so as not to get killed, and I can still destroy the other people's beds and win. That is what a mostly properly executed hard defensive strategy is going to look like. Ideally, you would be able to just take one fight at the end and maybe the one fight at the beginning, depending on the map. but this was pretty successful and shows the strengths of the hard defensive strategy, which I'll talk about more at the end of the video. Here is a 2-step program for playing the hard defensive strategy. First, congratulations for starting the program. Why don't you go attack— Ow! What? Telling people to do the exact opposite is a bad thing? Okay, fine then. First, get to the middle and get obsidian around your bed. Then, upgrade like heck until you are one of the last 2 people in the game and attack them. If your bed gets destroyed in the interim, try to survive somewhere else and do whatever you can to win. Everybody got that? Okay, now for the advantages of this strategy and why you would actually do it. The advantages of a hard defensive strategy are as follows. It is very simple and easy to execute for most of the game. As long as the player keeps defending his bed, it's very hard for the enemy to destroy it, and when executed well, it has a very high chance of resulting in a win. Where there are pros, there are cons, and this is no exception. The things that are bad about this strategy are the fact that it can be very boring in the middle bits, the fact that there is a huge risk taken right away, and the fact that if you mess up once, it can be very punishing for the rest of the game. That was the hard defensive strategy guide for Hypixel Bedwars. If you liked it, go ahead and click that button. If you didn't, click the other button next to that one. If you want to see more, then you can subscribe, and go win some Bedwars now, I guess. Thanks for watching.